from my perspective, militancy and the banditry, they are using what you have to make people for you to be recognized in different regions in the country. And coming. So, using that is what we are talking about. They are not good. Recognizing them. Sorry, with all due respect to Yaradua, amnesty they gave to Niger Delta agitators has not helped issues.
You call them agitators, right?
What amnesty you gave to them has not even given anything. Even in River State, you remember when they were called and they dropped their guns? And yet, same thing happened. It's a lopsided issue. When anybody, the government recognizes those that comes out to harass them, harass the public. Those are then any youth that appears to work hard, do on his own, nobody recognizes. In any form, we don't glorify anything that is wrong because it's from this region, the other side is from this region. They all carry illegal arms. In the first place, it's against the Nigerian constitution. They all carry illegal arms, and they kill. So when you say we talk about agitators, we talk about Boko Haram or non-government or whatever, they are what's supposed to have been. They are terrorists. But government has, in their own wisdom, handled the Niger Delta the way it is being handled, fine and good. And I'm pretty sure that what they expected, they are not even getting it. We said, Khan is in the other way saying that negotiating with this, any of the people that's against the government, that is against it, is
does not mix black goat with white goats, because that appears to be what you're doing. You're using the word agitators, and this other word is terrorists. I'm coming. It's not nomenclature. The law of the land defines who is a terrorist. Even globally, the terrorist is defined clearly. There's a clear definition of who is a terrorist. One who, somebody who is an insurrectionist.
Secessionist?
No, not secessionist.
Okay.
Not secession. Insurrection is what I'm talking about. Somebody who fights against the state. Somebody who fights, who instills fear. And an organization that has a global network. A terrorist organization has a global network. If you look at the Boko Haram, for example, has all these colorations. ISWA has all these colorations. I'm coming. IPOB was operating from outside the country. So at a point, it had a global coloration. So in all ramifications, there is a clear difference between agitators. And in the case of agitators, people knew what they were agitating against. You had the issue of oil exploration and exploitation. People were being shortchanged. So much has happened in Niger Delta.
Has that issue
I'm coming. So much has happened in Niger Delta that it became obvious that these people needed to be, brought to round table to discuss. Just as the Afro-Nigerian War, there were so many issues that came up on the round table to settle. And at the end of the when it ended, it was declared no veto, no vanquish. They were agitating over something, even though they were secessionists. It is not the same with terrorists that we know in the north. Al-Qaeda, that have Al-Qaeda connection, that has ISWA connection, that a group of persons that have killed religious leaders, burnt down churches. When Niger Delta agitators were agitating, they were only in the creek fighting oil companies, IOCs. They never came out to bomb any church, to bomb any government installation. No, they didn't. So this was a solution. But it has to a long extent, because we are now exploiting and exploring oil. It would have been impossible with the Niger Delta agitators if the amnesty was not granted. There would have been full-blown war. Because you don't treat the people the way you treat them. Now we now have Ministry of Niger Delta. We now have NDDC. More is still being expected. Yes, other forms of criminality may have emerged, and nobody's negotiating with them. Nobody's negotiating with oil theft, oil thieves. Nobody. It is in that same vein that Khan is saying, don't negotiate with terrorists because they are what they are. Don't. So it's a different scenario. I don't think they're the same. Yes, there's criminality in all of this. But these are agitators who are saying, don't treat all the way you are treating us. Then they ask, okay, we'll stop treating, we'll make sure that something good is given to you. We'll grant you amnesty. They dropped their arms. And federal government came and started exploiting oil. It's not the same scenario. What emerged later is what government is fighting now, and government is not negotiating with them. Government cannot negotiate with oil things, so negotiate with terrorists, or even dream of giving the amnesty. I think Khan is very right.
I am in line with Khan.
Yeah, that's what
I am in line with Khan.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that there are this sort of things in other regions. The IPOB, the Niger Delta, or even the internal one, the court-related issues within the Niger Delta area.
Is anybody negotiating with them?
Which that is, I'm agreeing with the governor of Rivers State, who bluntly told them that nobody will negotiate, no amnesty for them. And I am saying that we should maintain this, aligning with what Khan said. In no form should we negotiate with anybody that carries an against the federal government in any form.
Okay.
If they cannot do it, let them seek for foreign aids. Be this, be that, be this is that because you have allowed it, let us start from this way. This is where it snowballs.
Okay, you said because that initial amnesty seemed to have emboldened other people.
Yes.
Thinking that they will get the same reprieve, and that reprieve is not giving them. But what they fail is to understand the dimension, the difference between the two. That's the point. Now let's look at the next story because we've taken too long with this. It is what it is. Khan says, don't grant them amnesty. I think they're right. Ahead of the 2024 governorship election, the Edo State chapter of the All Progressive Congress has lifted the suspension of it imposed on some leaders and supporters for allegedly working against the interests of the party in the last general election, especially in the state. House of Assembly contest at the reconciliation meeting held at Benin residence of leader of the party, former governor, now Senator, Comrade Adams Oshomole, his deputy as governor, Honorable Pius Odibo, also emerged as the leader of the party in the South Senatorial District. This meeting was strictly by invitation, especially old leaders of the party, and they will take the message home to the people. That's what they meant. Oshimole was able to make sure that there is an end to leadership tussle in the party, although one or two leaders were not happy with the emergence of Odubu, but their opinions were consumed by the people. As it grandstanding, all manner of shenanigans are there. And these shenanigans, grandstanding and horse trading, most times degenerate into serious cleavages within the party. And when they go for election and they fail, they blame their opponents for their failure. It's happened in PDP. Yes.
Bon, you look at the problem you said, internal mechanism, internal democracy, and it is a problem that snowball to governance when the party wins.
Yeah.
It's a huge problem in this country. If we're able to put up party structure if the parties in Nigeria are able to come up as mass party, that's what we call mass party, and also what we call cadre party. In both, I don't know where the Nigerian political party falls in, the cadre and the mass party. In the mass party, you now see that people contribute money. This one they call leader of this party. It is the people that owns the party. Sorry, it is the party that owns the people, not people owning the party. So it's the other way around here. If it's a cadre party where people contribute money, the masses contribute money. You don't I should say silly method of this person is the head of it. Because the person who blows the pipe is the tune of the music. Oshimada has come is notable, or is supposed to be so, because a election is coming up. They are strategizing to make sure that they win the election. And you now see politicians who are not ashamed, who left that APC before and went to Abasiki, will now come back because maybe what they want, or they feel that the APC will win. They will still leave the other party and come. And at the end of it all, you now see that there is no political party in this country. Tomorrow you are in party A, castigating party B. Next tomorrow, if what you want in party A is not working, you left party A to come castigating, saying that this is. So it is.
Is it an ideological problem?
We don't have. There's no party that has manifesto.
Their manifestos are almost the same.
Even if they have, when the governor or the person that wins election goes in, he uses his own personal manifesto, personal fiat to abandoning all what you know about the party by the side and move on.
You know what thing I know about political parties? I saw it during the last administration in university. Before Governor Wike came, there was some kind of strategizing, where there was research. They were putting these documents in place, which you may call manifesto, and that document was called the New Rivers Vision. That was a manifesto that was brought together by the political party, well researched by professors, academicians, eggheads, and from different angles. At least I'm aware of that. And that was like a Bible that will guide the party when they win the election. And in one accord, they carried that into the governance structure of the party. And we had, this is in line with our New Rivers Vision.
And renamed it.
And no, it became New Rivers Vision.
Yes, the party manifesto. That's the area I'm going.
Okay.
So that anybody that comes in as PDP will carry it along. This is what we want. They will now know that PDP is working, and what we intend to give the people, what PDP intend to give the people is coming up. But now, when you now align it to New Rivers Vision, it now becomes the governor's private property.
No, you don't understand the way I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it from point of view of a party getting ready to govern. During the election, a party prepares, campaigns. This is what we're going to do. Everything they are saying in their manifesto is articulated as a governance blueprint. And so when they get into government, governance becomes possible and easy, becomes a roller coaster. Unlike a situation where most political parties, you don't even know where they are going. I was just giving that as an example of what it ought to be. Now, Tinubu is talking about new, what do you call it? Something agenda. There's a new agenda that he has promised.
Which is out of APC
yes,
manifesto.
And how they're going to look at Nigeria in the next 4 years, the next 8 years if they win again. That is the kind of thing that we expect political parties. But most of the time, almost always, you see political parties struggling to come together as a political party. And so when they win the election, they are neither here nor there. You don't even know, you don't hear about any program. You don't hear about any program at all. All you hear is about, some kind of pettiness, those who dropped out of party, those who are not there, governor and deputy governor fighting, party chairman and governor fighting, national and state fighting, and you don't know where they belong. It's only when elections are coming that they begin to close ranks.
That's what I said.
They begin to close ranks and then pretend to be together. That is not structural and will not yield any dividend. Especially in governance. It may work in an election. It may not work in governance. Well, yes, they want to pardon suspended members. Okay, well and good.
What we are saying, or what I'm saying here is good. They will strategize means of winning an election. Just alluding to the fact you brought up. Means of winning an election, when the election. But is that what governance is all about? When they win an election? The strategy they are putting up is now trying to bring those people that are there and coming. We agree that it's going to be, if they can lure anybody, now that Obaseki is ending his second tenure, then let us go back. The new person that is coming nobody, power of incumbency will not be there again. This is not a way forward to Nigeria.
Thank you. I think that they are coming together to strategize some kind of recruitment process to run the next election. Not because they want to come and govern well.
Yes.
Because there's no clear-cut blueprint for governance in the next dispensation. And that's the problem of political parties. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo has said diversity and multiculturalism were divinely designed by mankind, by God, for mankind by God, saying it must be cherished, jealously guarded, and sustained. Obasanjo stated this in his keynote address at the 2023 World Culture Festival organized by the Art of Living Foundation at the National Mall, Washington, D.C., USA, at the weekend. In a press release by his special advisor, Assistant on Media, Koinde Akiyemi, the former president submitted that God has given us life with a world of diversity and multiculturalism. He stressed that as human beings, we have an unrelenting task, working to add love, kindness, brotherhood, humanity, humanness to the world of diversity God has given us. Man, the below grammar.
See, let me come in sharp for you. See, when I look at this issue, I now say, why couldn't these elderly people notice or realize this at their prime age about God, how things should be? And now that they are aging, they now realize that this
Wasn't has a PhD in theology. Do you know that? He has a PhD in theology, so he understands. You understand the issue of God.
When Obasanjo was 45, when Obasanjo was 50, why couldn't he reason this way?
No, listen. Let me cut you
off. It's not about
his piety. Normally, human piety, when it comes to looking at God, I mean piety really, looking at God and Godhead and issue of worship, comes more at old age.
Why is this true?
Yes, it's nature. It is at old age that you realize that you have an old boys association. It's at old age that you realize that you have an age group in the village. It's at old age that you begin to realize, and you ought to realize, that you belong to a church. It's at old age that you begin to think of bringing your family together. At that old age, you begin to speak the truth. Because an old man who tells lies is a fool forever. So it's not about, you can see the whole language is blowing there. It's his PhD language in theology.
I want to tell you this.
Yes.
I'm being philosophical.
You're being sarcastic.
In all this.
Yes.
When we look at the person, the fellow that is saying all this now, think about his past, his antecedents.
But if you
then you come now to talk about this.
If you go back to his antecedents, you go back to the time he left.
As a soldier?
No, before he became a soldier. Obasanjo worked and donated an organ to his church. Do you remember that? And he was blessed. He has been a God-fearing man. The fact that he became a soldier doesn't mean otherwise. My friend, just hit the head. Leave the old man alone. Well, I think what he's saying,
so,
let's look at it.
On a more serious note,
yes.
What he's saying is the truth. I am acknowledging it indirectly, in the sense that this ought to have been in him before
Yeah,
now,
but
to make Nigeria what Nigeria should have been.
No, but as yet,
because most of these our leaders who led us for some time, then they knew all these things. Why didn't they come up with this? Nigeria would have been more better than what it is now.
Yeah.
That's the area I'm going.
Now, I think you understand that he's right. We link all the crises we have in this country can be attributed to greed. If you're talking about corruption, he was one that instituted ECC and all that. He realized that there was greed.
Are you saying Ambassador is not corrupt?
No, I've not found him correct. Nobody has found him corrupt. Now, no court has found him corrupt. He has not been tried for corruption.
Which of Nigerian leaders they have?
I'm coming. He has not been tried as a president.
None of the presidents.
And during his tenure as president, he was one that put all these anti-graft agencies in place, which means he realizes that greed is bane of Nigerian development and growth. So if saying that he has never realized that is strong. All the anti-graft agencies that we have enjoyed over time, fight against corruption, which Buhari came and wanted to blow out of proportion.
It's because that was how he came in immediately after the military. So all these things has to come in.
No, but the military is known for anti-corruption movement.
He came in after the military left.
Yeah.
Then it is expected that when you come as a civilian, all this anti-corruption should come in for you to rule. It was a way to stabilize.
Yeah.
Like
so what's your point of drift now?
Puta panel and all the rest of this. It was a means of trying to stabilize the system then. So my concern about him is we have known this country. He has been in the saddle more than any other person.
And he has been fighting greed
more
in
than
government.
any other person.
And he has been fighting greed in government. Let's give it to him. He has been fighting greed, and he has identified the fact that greed is the bane of Nigerian development. The entire crisis we have, crisis of growth, we cannot grow economically, politically, and socially because of greed among Nigerian elite, the politicians, and even the ordinary Nigerians. Those who go and decapitate security personnel, what do you think is driving them? Is greed.
I have never said that greed is not there. I am trying to open up from his own.
Let's close it. Let's close it that way and go on a short break. When we come back, we'll continue with this argument. Chukwudi is here today with a different dimension in our analysis. You should give it to the old man. The old man is doing well. Well, we'll come back after the short break. you're just joining us, the program is Atlantic Television Press Roundtable. Indeed, you're welcome back. Chukwudi Ejimofo is still here. He's in a different mood today. His vibes are different. Now let's look at more stories in this second segment. Imo State gubernatorial candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Senator Samuel Anyanwu, has said insecurity has reduced the monthly internally generated revenue of the state to less than 500 million naira. Anyanwu made the disclosure during the encampment of over 4,000 members of the Labour Party to the People's Democratic Party to assist the latter clinch the Douglas House Owerri. Douglas House Owerri hopeful that under his watch, Imo will not export her youth, saying rather he will partner with them to earn money and go for holidays abroad. Anyanwu congratulated the new members, stated his readiness to revive the local government areas which, according to him, had collapsed. According to the Guber candidate, insecurity and insurgency had led to the collapse of several businesses in the state, which had resulted in dwindling internally generated revenue. And there was a little bit of sarcasm in his talk there. You know what reference he was making? We will not export our youths. We will keep them here and make them make money. You know what he was referring to? The governor. Opu Salima said he was going to help them go to Canada. So you see the sarcasm there. Go ahead.
You see...
innuendo.
Yes, the truth about it is that, when they talk about dwindling of internally generated, I was thinking that it is the government of the day who were supposed to complain about it, a way to quell down the aggressiveness or the insecurity in the area. The issue of insecurity, I'm always particular about security, pertaining our youths, their lives and property in the southeast now. I'm not even sure that the percentage is up to that, because everything about business which the southeast are known for.
That was the average revenue was 500 million per month. But it has degenerated. In fact, like you're saying, your prediction may be right. Maybe you have gone far below that.
I'm pretty sure about this. When you go, you have every Monday, nothing happens there.
So you're not collecting revenue?
No. Now they are in what they call the coffee. They start 6 a.m. and 1 p.m. daily for 3 weeks. He says, listen now, tell me what...
No ease of doing business. So why will you collect the revenue?
And they don't have, the Southeasterners don't have any other thing except this Ariara market.
Trading.
Ariara market, Onitsha market, where people comes in to buy, where they go out, import and come.
And generate
revenue. Where else do those things come? Our people should know this. The Easterners should know this. Then for him, as a Guber candidate, it's advisable that he should have tell us what and where he will bring this insecurity down. These are things we expect them to tell us now. But pointing out that this is where he has said something, but he has not said anything in terms of making...
No, concretely.
Yes.
He has not come out concretely. It's some kind of excitement.
Yes.
Receiving 4,000 members of Labour Party. And then, looking at the youths, he now said, I'm not going to export you abroad.
Yes.
I'm going to make you become useful, work hard and generate revenue, and generate money, make money here. And he has not told us how.
How?
Because this is part of what we're talking about, political parties. Political parties should engage the people into serious discussion.
In fact, this opportunity he had is where he would have sold himself politically, sell his candidature to the Imolites who are ready to hear from anybody that will change the narratives in terms of any governor, any person that is coming up in the Southeast who is not able to find a way to bring insecurity to a zero level has not started, because there is nothing you will do without if the place is not secured. So the major problem the bane of the southeasterners in all ramification is insecurity. Until that is solved.
Until you solve insecurity, because that's Soludo came like a magician in Anambra.
Yes.
That is almost being suffocated now by insecurity in the state. And struggling to bring development to the place because it's fighting a dual war, fighting poverty and fighting insecurity. And that is the story for any government, any governor that may come up in either Imo Anambra, but except in Ebonyi, really. Except in
the
Ebonyi.
southeast.
But Ebonyi appears to be relatively calm.
Enugu State is not.
Enugu State, no. And Enugu, Anambra, and Imo are the hottest spots. Incidentally, the troublemakers seem to be coming from Abia, and Abia is not as troublesome as
they are.
this
Aba, where is not as troublesome as this Umahia.
Okay. Is it not the area where can and they can
come from the center of Umahia.
And the place is peaceful?
The place is very peaceful, very calm.
All right, let's look at the next story. Nigerian Union of Journalists, News Agency of Nigerian Chapel, has condemned the alleged assault on Mrs. Philomena Atta, an editor and assistant chief correspondent of the agency, an official of the Directorate of Road Traffic Services, FCT Vehicle Inspection Office. Director of the FCT VIO received a letter titled Protest Letter Against Assault of a Non-Journalist, Caution Your Officers, dated October 5. That's the letter. It was jointly signed by the chairman, Collins Yakubu Hama, and the secretary, Fumilayo Adeyemi, respectively, and copied to the Minister of FCT and chairman of NUJ FCT Council. They spread sadness over the alleged unprofessional conduct perpetrated by a VIO officer identified as Officer James. The union demanded a written apology by Officer James. Also urged the directorate to take disciplinary action against Officer James to deter other overzealous staff of the service. Now, NUJ pleaded with the director to look into the issue of neatness, civility, professionalism, and sanctity of officers on the road. Well, neatness, are they ragtag officers? I think that the emphasis should have been on professionalism and then the issue of civility.
Talking about the issue of civility, I know the VIO doesn't carry gun.
They harass.
I really don't.
Sometimes if police go with them, they go with police.
No, they don't.
Those
that wear white, they don't. The vehicle inspectors, the VIO, the vehicle inspectors.
Sometimes they have joint sessions with police.
They don't. They don't. The ones.
Okay, whichever. But
so whichever. Because the story when I went through it, I was trying to catch up. There wasn't explicit on what the petition is all about.
Somebody was harassed.
So somebody was harassed in what form?
But they seize vehicles, they force people out of their cars, they want to push you to the offices so that you can explain. So I think that they have not done that.
The VIOs I have always encountered with.
But these ones are different. That's why they're petitioning them.
The ones I have encountered, they always ask you of your documents, your vehicle particulars. Give them. When you give them your vehicle particulars, they go through it. They will seize it if it is not in tandem. It's what they.
It is not.
But
it is not what they do, but how they do it. That's what they're complaining about.
I want to see a caveat in this vehicle inspectors unit. Anything. So how many of these agencies are working for drivers' vehicles? We have road safety. We have the police. We have the vehicle inspectors unit. We have the task forces, and all of them. They are just. Why can't we have a unified method, system, to look into traffic per se? Looking at traffic, you now look at the particulars of driver's license and all the rest of them. Why this pocket or chunks of emphasis on enforcers with drivers everywhere? What is different from the job of VIO and that job of Federal Road Safety Corps, the traffic police, the arbor? What are the differences? Is it not the same thing?
It's not exactly the same. The VIO is interested in the roadworthiness of your car. That's what the VIO does. How roadworthy is your vehicle? My problem is that they're not even doing their job well, because there are so many rickety vehicles that are moving all over Port Harcourt in so many parts of Nigeria. If you go to the south, it's even worse. I'm coming.
Okay.
Now you have the road safety. Road safety goes beyond roadworthiness to whether the driver is sane. You have driver license. Are you sure you're driving without drunkenness and all that? The speed limits and all that. So they are there to road safety to ensure that there's safety on the road. And of course, they also come in on hand when there's accident, which was what the St. John's Ambulance was doing. Also a traffic-oriented organization. So they embody that kind of safety. But the problem I have...
Bon, are you telling me that all this, road safety cannot take care of it as an agency? Then you collapse all this.
Then in that case, you're talking about federal and state in terms of revenue generation. All these people are involved in revenue generation. And so there are certain things that the state government should be very much involved in. There was this litigation that road safety should only mind federal highways, while road safety even went to court over that. Is this same struggle between internally generated revenues between federal and state?
The one in concurrent list.
Yes, it's supposed to be in concurrent list. And so what we are saying is, it's not just how they are doing it, not just what they are doing, but how they are doing it. And the NUJ petitioners are very clear in their petition. Their civility, they are even concerned about the way they appear. They don't look serious. Original VIO wear white and look clean, but this time the type of people they're talking about are ragtag. Not just ragtag, they lack civility. They lack decorum. They do not know how to handle people, and that's why they are not happy with the way the non-officer was treated. I think that their petition is timely. And this story is here because it is to remind Nigerians that those who work for the public should also respect other professionals. How you treat other professionals is important. I used to tell them.
Esprit de corps.
Exactly. I used to tell them, if I'm on the road and I'm going for an assignment in my car and I have my ID card, I should be allowed to go if I show you my driver's license. Don't stop me harassing me to find fire extinguisher and everything. And because I am also involved in national service. And that has always been a problem. NUJ has always told them, please, give us some kind of access to do our job. Don't always encumber us with unnecessary harassment and what have you. And that is what that letter is all about. And it's not just the letter to this particular body. It is to all security organizations.
Assuming the apology they requested for the income, do they have that to go to court?
Well, it happened in River State. NUJ here asked for an apology from what do you call them? From Moscow Road.
Police.
Nothing came up, but at least you have to keep on.
No,
let's take this story because we don't have time any longer. Experts in politics, policy making, and leadership have called for a transformation in Nigeria's governance structure. Still part of what we are saying. They voiced their opinion at the grand ceremony held in Abuja over the weekend to celebrate the graduation of the 2023 cohort of the School of Politics, Policy, and Governance. Their convocation was graced by high-profile speakers who urged the graduates to strive for positive change and accountability in Nigerian governance. On the ceremony day, they underlined the importance of active engagement and accountability in the process of governance in Nigeria, reflecting the overall mission of the School of Politics, Policy and Governance, Alero Ayeda Otobo, the CEO of School of Politics, Policy and Governance, noted the significant increase in applications to the school, attributing this to the increased media coverage. In a heartfelt message to the graduates, Ayeda Otobo urged them to remember their role as custodians of the future. Interesting story there. One thing comes out clearly there. Governance is an art, and governance is important in any institution. So training for governance is very, very important, and that's why the importance of that institution.
Yes, when we talk about governance, we talk about Commonwealth. Great political philosophers who has defined government, saying where everybody, group of people come together and take all their will and hand over to a particular institution to say that we are under you. That is our Commonwealth. Our Commonwealth in the sense that anybody that goes there is there to represent us.
That's the point. Anybody that goes there is there to represent us.
The people.
Yeah, we don't have much time, yes. So we're trailing off at this juncture. But don't forget, this is Atlantic Television Network, which comes to you Monday to Friday, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. every day, and Monday to Friday. Thank you very much, Chukwudi Ejimofok, for coming.
Yeah.
I like your takeaway there. Their governance, in governance, we willingly give them our our Commonwealth, and give them mandate, and they're expected to govern us well. And that's why it is good to train for governance. That's why there are a lot of institutions for governance and policy analysis in Nigeria. Well, ATN will come your way live tomorrow by same time, but don't forget to tune in to listen to our global bulletin by 9 p.m. tonight.